Monday, August 2nd, 2021. Good evening. You are watching My Media Prime Television. This is Prime News coming to you live from our headquarters here in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. My name is FON QUINTA. The news starts now. The president of the National Communication Council, Joe Chebonkeng, is on a sensitization visit to media organs in Douala. Mr. Joe began his media tour with a courtesy visit to the governor of the Littoral region, Samuel Ivaha Diodene, who promised working with the council to ensure strict implementation of its regulations. Joy Ngong accompanied the NCC boss and now reports.
Barely 1 month into office, the new Bureau of the National Communication Council is on a mission to sensitize media organs and draw attention to their social responsibility. This is the objective of their media tour in the Littoral region. Douala, being the heart of freedom of speech in Cameroon, as far as the media is concerned, is equally host to a relatively high rate of unprofessionalism, as indicated by the Littoral Regional Governor Samuel Diodene Ivaha Diboua. He promised to work hand in gloves with the council to oversee the implementation of its regulations.
Douala city in particular, we are the city of media. We are the city of different opinions, and we have to be sure that everybody is free to say what he's saying, but just respecting the order, respecting each other, and to make sure that we are in a good way.
On this first day of his visit, Joe Chebonkeng Kalabupse and his delegation made a stopover at various audiovisual and print media organs. Among the structures visited was the state-owned audiovisual broadcasting unit, where the media boss acknowledged that they are less of a problem considering their better working conditions. However, to whom much is given, much is expected. Contrary to public opinion, Kalabupse declared that over 172 sanctions have been issued within a period of 7 years, most of which have been respected. He hopes to use this tour to share with pressmen and women the vision to respect professional ethics and deontology. The president of the National Communication Council continues his visit on Tuesday. He will be making stops at various media organs, among which is My Media Prime.
And to this human interest story, another catastrophe hits the west region of Cameroon. Again this time, 3 members of same family, a man alongside his 2 kids, reportedly died after their building collapsed on them. The victims were crushed to death in their sleep, as Nora Kakebi tells us.
These 4 will never feel the warmth of their family members again, as they were seized from life by a landslide at about 7:30 p.m. on Saturday. The local population of Ndashwa neighborhood in Fumban in the West region woke up to this very sad incident where a man, Japa Amadu, together with his 3 children, died under the rubble of his house. Reports say the house is said to have been covered by mud due to a heavy downpour on Saturday, causing a landslide in the area. The 34-year-old father is said to have attended a wedding on that fateful Saturday together with his wife, but later returned home to his children, leaving his wife at the wedding ceremony. Unfortunately for him, he met his painful exit with his 3 children. Their bodies were pulled out from the mud with the help of the council authorities of Fumban and buried immediately. Amadu's wife and the rest of the local population have just their eyes to cry over the huge loss of this life stolen by natural disaster. It should be recalled that in 2019, a similar incident occurred in Ngwashe, in Bafoussam, where several buildings were brought down, killing 42 persons. People are constantly reminded to always avoid constructing on risky zones in order to avoid such sad incidents.
Cast Bambili Ex-Student Association 1998 to 2000 batch converged on Douala over the weekend for their annual General Assembly. The come-together took place under the theme Cast Begza 1998 to 2000, supporting one another. Lasha Kingsley with details.
Meeting for the second time since its creation in 2019, the General Elective Assembly of the Cast Bambili Ex-Students Association 1998-2000 batch held last weekend under the theme Cast Begza 1998-2000, supporting one another.
We had a 1998-2000 batch of the Cameroon College of Art, Science and Technology Cast Bambili
After 21 years that we left school, we thought it wise to group ourselves in an association to see how we can strengthen each other, help each other grow, and work also for the growth of our alma mater.
We are trying to bring all our friends together to see how we can all succeed together. Those who are better placed, they try to hold the hands of those who are still lagging behind, because our dream is that we will all grow and succeed together.
It was an occasion for the Elective General Assembly to evaluate and amend the constitution of the association.
So this year we have met again for the second annual General Assembly of the association. So the goal this time was still to amend the constitution, since it's still a young group. So we met to amend the constitution. A lot of things were discussed, and among other things, a new executive bureau was elected to man the affairs of the association.
The meeting witnessed the election of a new board to oversee the activities of the young association. Meanwhile, Dr. Anuafo Cletus Asongwe, DO for Douala 5 Subdivision, was re-elected as the national president.
In fact, we had a very, very fruitful AGM where we did our elections, retained some ESCO members and brought in new people. And we are thinking also how we can become job creators. We are thinking of coming up with projects where we can leave a legacy for our children, where tomorrow our children will not have to write concours and things like that to have jobs.
The General Assembly was graced with the presence of members coming from the diaspora, one from UK and the other from the US.
Now, Christians of the Roman Catholic Church in the Buea Diocese have been called upon to respect and value human life amidst the Anglophone crisis and Boko Haram insurgency. Bishop Mikwa Abril re-echoed this message during the occasion of the Dwa birth anniversary, celebrating the lives of his predecessor, Bishop Emeritus Emmanuel Bushu, and himself, Clarice Ekowe, attended the event and now reports.
Christians of the Roman Catholic Church in the Buea Diocese and the general public at large have been admonished to place value on human life. This call was made by Bishop Mikwa Abril, Bishop of the Diocese of Buea, during this Requiem Mass, attended by a cross-section of Catholic folks drawn from far and near.
We are living in a situation now, especially in the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon, the situation of Boko Haram in the northern part of Cameroon, where human life has no value again. Every day over the social media, many people are killed. And I use this opportunity today to be able to remind us that life is sacred. It's a gift from God. Only God can give life and only God can take away life.
Furthermore, in a sermon, Bishop Abril highlighted the biblical significance of thanksgiving in the lives of Christians while they are alive, reason why he decided to give thanks to God for his 50th birth anniversary, which falls on the same month with that of his predecessor, Bishop Emeritus Emmanuel Bushu.
Today, the readings that the church proposed for us was talking about thanksgiving. We have a duty and a responsibility to thank God for all what God does for us. And it also encourages us to be able to have thanksgiving at every moment of our lives.
On his part, the 77-years-old Bishop Emeritus Emmanuel Bushu, in his message to the Christians, appreciated them for their collaboration throughout his mandate. As Bishop of the Buea Diocese, project like the idea for the construction of a befitting co-cathedral site located in Mukete Buea was conceived, among other projects realized. Thus, to the Bishop Emeritus, his birth anniversary and achievements is a feeling of satisfaction and thanksgiving to God Almighty.
Thank God for everything. So if your birthday comes, you thank God allowed me to be born. I thank everybody who has helped me to be where you are.
Through the chairman of the Laity Council, the Catholic Christians reaffirmed their unflinching support to push forward the completion of the co-cathedral site in Mukete Buea by throwing their weight behind Bishop Mikwa Abril as the project continues.
Away from religious news, a national workshop dubbed Pulaku Peace and Resilience aimed at alleviating suffering of the indigenous Bororo group took place in Bangathi, West region of Cameroon. The workshop, which held over the weekend, saw the signing of a memorandum of understanding between Laimuru CSO and Boskuda Charles Kibwa, attended the workshop and now reports.
The ongoing conflict in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon that has resulted to thousands of displaced amongst the indigenous and minority Bororos, pastoralists within the regions, Laimaru, a civil society organization through Laimaru Relief Aid Project funded by Pawanka RSF Social Finance, July 31st, 2021 in Bangante, the division west region of Cameroon, in a national workshop, Pulaku Peace and Resilience, Bororo Indigenous Ways of Learning, with need to support the internally displaced and work with their hosts to ensure alleviate the suffering of the indigenous and minority Bororos, presented the Pulaku Manual.
It's a code of conduct that guides them on how to relate with others.
Launching the workshop, the divisional officer for their division appreciated Laimaru for taking care and supporting displaced Bororos from the northwest and southwest regions for the past 1 year, as administration is doing all to resolve the crisis within the regions in question. The Bangante come together Laimaru delegates with targeted groups from various regions and the diaspora through presentations and contribution of volunteers, a Pulaku manual with concept to conflict resolution, used knowledge as code of conduct, teach other communities how to live together and promote traditional knowledge, saw the light of the day.
We had the war in the English region. We thought about how can we try our best to teach people how to live together. The concept of Pulaku is used in that concept of conflict resolution, how we can use this knowledge, this code of conduct, to teach other communities.
To Dr. Sali Sadu Nana, founder and CEO of Laimaru, reviving their culture and language with a code of conduct will encompass addressing the problems of today.
Reviving our culture and our language for Fulbe. Pulaku is a code of conduct for all Fulbe around the world, and it's a very important concept. It encompasses the way Fulbe live. That's the way of life of the Pulu around the world. And this is something that we share from Senegal to Nigeria to Mauritania to Cameroon, everywhere. And it's a concept that we are taught by our parents and everybody understands.
Buskuda National President Adamu Amadu will help coordinate their activities.
A metaphor to show the Bororo people, you should be together. You guys work together, live together, not only among Bororos, but between Bororos and the rest of the community.
A memorandum of understanding was signed between Laimaru and Mboskuda as presentation of certificates of appreciation to Laimaru volunteers by the partner organization crowned the national workshop.
Alpha Elvis Tayong has been decorated with the title Ngafon, meaning mouthpiece of the FON. He was decorated by FON for Mikwa of Gunoku alongside notables in Momodo Division Northwest region of Cameroon. The exercise also saw the presentation and installation of Gunako village quarter heads and awards of scholarship to some pupils and students. Charles Kiwa again with details.
It's rightly often said that he who goes with equity must go with clean hands. Fire Elvis Tayong, 30th July at the Gunuku Fon's Palace, Momo Division of the Northwest, was decorated with the title of Ngamfon, the mouthpiece of the Fon of Gunuku, an inspiration given him to go out and protect his native Gunuku village. After ancestral rituals and performing the traditional decoration by the Fon of Gunuku's representative, Mbakwa Bena, he encouraged the new Ngamfon Fire Elvis Tayong as a journalist. What he talks will always be backed by the ancestors who will always be by him for what he says on behalf of the Fon of Gunuku. The new Ngamfon was advised as a youth, being given the title and honor like any other title holder. Work and let his works be recognized and to work harder.
He actually merited that title. We have other titles to give to other people, but for a journalist, we give him Ngamfon. Whatever thing he talks, the ancestors of Gunuku will record what he says. They protect him, whatever thing he said. And anything he says, talking on behalf of FON as his father.
Thanking His Royal Majesty FON Walters, notables and villagers of Gunuku Meta for the title conferred on him, Ngamfon Fa Elvis Tayon alias the Kangaroo said it's more of assignment, appeal all get on board, united and bring development back and ensure they protect the traditional values and culture while better the living standard of those back at home.
All of us worked in a group. We have been working. The fact that I have it does not mean that I was just like the best amongst all. It's still another aspect for us to know that we just need to keep working. Everybody has his own term or his or her own term, and when it comes, we'll all join together to support each and everyone in these kind of initiatives in terms of recognition. So I think the take-home message is simple: is that we need to put in more effort to make sure that we get to higher heights, just like other villages are equally moving towards higher heights as well.
The decoration exercise also witnessed the presentation and installation of Gunuku Quarter Heads, Zonal Council and Village Council officials, including award of scholarships, a visit and donation of grinding meal to Empower Hope Foundation Orphanage Mengwi. Traditional dances crowned the day.
Now, popular Cameroonian artist Teno has spent his third night in police custody. He was transferred to the Douala Nouvelle prison Friday, July 30, accused of involuntary homicide. Following his arrest, some internet users have expressed their thoughts. Audrey Zaza has been following the story and now reports.
Things seem to be falling apart for Cameroonian artist Thierry Mengumuaya, popularly known as Teno. Just a few days after leaving the hospital due to injuries he sustained in an accident, Teno is currently in pre-trial detention in the New Bell prison in Douala, while Erika has been laid to rest. The artist was arrested July 30 in connection to this accident in which the young Mfia Erika Molium lost her life. Following these events, reactions are pouring in from some popular internet users and artists. For some, like Laguga, Teno's arrest is legit as he should take his responsibilities. Steve Farr equally believes that the young artist deserves the imprisonment because he's been negligent. Others, like Mimi, have however sent out words of encouragement to the artist. His Ivorian friend Eunice Zenong equally expressed herself on her Facebook page, saying that lawmakers in Cameroon are exaggerating on the case before deleting her message. The tragic incident took place on Thursday, July 15, 2021 at the Besenge Red Light Crossroads. According to sources, the vehicle driven by the artist under the influence of alcohol caught fire at the scene of the incident, with Erika instantly giving up the ghost. The family members filed a complaint against Teno for voluntary manslaughter and driving under the influence of alcohol. Shortly after the incident, Erika's father promised to deal with Teno for his daughter's death, as he requested the popular artist must get married to his late daughter. Meanwhile, Erika was laid to rest over the weekend in Fumban at the time when charges laid against the artist remain uncertain.
Now, fans, artists, and well-wishers have been pouring tributes to the fallen Zouk giant, Jacob Devario of the Caribbean brand group Kazav. The Zouk legend died on Friday, July 30, 2021. In the following report, Eileen Summer provided him.
Jacob Devario, legend of Zouk and member of the group Kassav, where he was co-founder, singer of Genius and guitarist, took his last breath on Friday night, the 30th, breaking Saturday, the 31st of July 2021 in Pointe-à-Pitre at the age of 65. For the record, he was hospitalized since July 12 after contracting the coronavirus and was placed in an artificial coma due to his fragility. The legend was born in France in November 21, 1955, but grew up between Guadeloupe, Martinique, and Senegal. Jacob Devario took part in the development of a musical style little known at the time and subsequently worked on the albums of many artists. He was a member of the biggest French group Kassav since its creation in 1979. His contribution to the group brought in huge milestones, shaking the planet and boosting the group, which has sold over 5 million albums in a little over 40 years of career, with about 50 albums on the market. Kasaf was most popular throughout the Caribbean, most especially in islands like Lucia, Haiti, and Dominica. Jacob Devario was loved for his semi-hoarse voice and described by fans as a music monument, a legend, and a dragon. He had a unique style of singing defined by his raspy voice. The Guadeloupean co-founder of Caribbean band Kasaf passed away at the University Hospital of Abins in Guadeloupe. It is worth noting that the heavy metal rock guitarist, lead singer of Zouk group Kasaf, alongside Joycelyn Berrod, Georges Decimus, Patrick Saint-Eloi, Jean-Philippe Mateli, and Jean-Claude Naimro. Since his death was announced over the weekend, fans, artists, celebrities, and others have been paying him tribute online, lamenting the gap his demise will cause the international Zouk music industry. However, his music lives on.
Unto health, every August 1st is observed worldwide as a World Lung Cancer Day, aimed at raising awareness about the causes, treatment of the disease. This year's edition was observed under the theme, I Am and I Will Bokengo Wadi, with details.
Lung cancer is a health condition characterized by uncontrolled formation or growth of cells in tissues of the lung, with causative factors such as tobacco intake, cigarettes and shisha smoking, exposure to chemicals and radon, air pollution, secondhand smoke, as well as age. Lung cancer, like most non-communicable diseases, accounts for more than 70% deaths worldwide, mostly in people in their productive years.
Non-communicable diseases kill more people than any other cause of death worldwide. This includes 15 million people who die each year in their most productive years, between the ages of 30 and 70.
With symptoms such as wheezing, chest pain, breathlessness, coughing up blood, and more, lung cancer, together with other non-communicable diseases, is most prevalent in low middle-income countries for more reasons than one.
The vast majority of these premature deaths do not occur in rich nations, but among the poorest people in the poorest countries. The marketing of health-harming products is devastating these countries.
Being responsible for nearly 1 in 5 cancer deaths, the World Health Organization estimates a 2.45 million mortality by 2030. However, early detection and screening, avoiding secondhand smoke and quit smoking, managing triggers for lung diseases are some methods to help prevent lung cancer.
And the 2021 Mukete tournament, organized by the paramount ruler of the Bafos, His Royal Highness FON Mukete, has kicked off in Boya. The tournament is to instill peace amongst all 10 Bafo villages, as Tamfu Sidwandimbe reports.
The Kumba population turned out at the relaunch of the Mukete Cup, organized by the chief of Kumba, the paramount ruler of the Bafos.
We have Mighty Mamadan. That's the beginning of the match.
His Royal Majesty FON Mukete IV Ekoko says all the 10 Bafo villages will take part in the Mukete Cup, which is intended to instill the spirit of togetherness in the various Bafo communities.
What puts us together, what holds us together is much larger than what sets us apart. So we want to focus on what keeps us together, what's positive for us being together. And I think football exemplifies, portrays exactly that which keeps us together.
The launching of the tournament took place at Government Bilingual Teachers Training College, Kumba Town, on Sunday, 1st August 2021, with the Kumba Town FC securing 3 points after a 1-0 spanking over the Mabanda FC.
And the pressure!
The 10 Bafo villages will all answer present at the Mukete tournament, initiated by the grandfather of FON Ekoko Mukete, continued by his father FON VE Mukete, and now a relaunch of the tournament by FON Mukete IV Ekoko with major modifications.
Launching to give it a different flair of the time. And, you know, football is so important. It's a unifying force, and you need unity in the family.
Watching the first match pitting Kumba Town FC and Mabanda FC, this elite of Kokobuma village says Kumba is powerless, even though with the big name, and that Kokobuma must be champions at the 2021 edition of the Mukete Cup, claiming Kokobuma team is stronger than all other teams in the tournament.
It's just name, just like Mila Rujov today. We talk about Mila Rujov today. It's Mila Rujov in those days. It's just name. Kumba is just a name. Players are coming from the villages. So Kumba is a great Kumba, and we are going to and take the cup.
The mayor of Kumba 1 Council, Barrister Iseme Moses Esebe, who doubles as a Bafo elite, believes the competition will secure peace and unity amongst the Bafo tribes.
If you say the objective of this tournament is to bring peace, I agree with you, because that particular fact was mentioned in the speech of the cup donor. At the end of the day, the Bafos and the indigenes of the town, and they have realized that unity is supposed to begin in the house. Peace is supposed to begin in the house. So this competition is first of all timely.
The opening encounter was watched by the divisional officer for Kumba 1 subdivision and traditional title holders.
We are much bigger than many people.
We've come to the end of today's edition of Prime News. Lasha Kingsley compiled the news, and the news was presented by myself, FON QUINTA. Stay tuned for Prime Outcomes about exactly 7 p.m. with Kum Leonard. Stay with us. Good night.